Kia ora and welcome to Auckland First 15 School Report, where it's all starting to come to a head as we head towards the pointy end of the Auckland 1A season. For round 8, we're out in West Auckland at the home of 11-time champs Kelston Boys High School, and today we get to see how they measure up against Dilworth. So stay with us for all the tries, all the action, all the drama from this and 5 more matches as the teams race towards the semi-finals.
Round 8 of the Auckland 1A Championship sees a number of season-defining matchups, including King's College visit to fast-finishing St Kentigern. Sacred Heart aim to hold on to second spot against Otahuhu. St Peter's can move back into the top 4 with a win at Onehunga. Aoreri travel to Auckland Grammar, and Kelston and Dilworth do battle to ensure 1A survival. But first, the two biggest sides in the comp slug it out as Mount Albert welcome De La Salle. League leaders Mount Albert Grammar face a challenging road into the playoffs with their final 4 matches against teams all currently in the top 6 of the 1A Championship. And first up is 6th place De La Salle College, who fielded an injury-hit first 15 following their brutal win over Aoreri last week. The tactic of Mount Albert's season has seen flanker Isaiah Papali'i feed attacking scrums and link with his number 8 John Latu off the back. And the move again reaped rewards as Papali'i powered across under the sticks for a try after just 3 minutes. De La Salle replied as Obe Samate slotted a penalty from out wide to close the gap to 4 points with 7 minutes gone. Mags were again in the De La Salle 22, and the same scrum move had stand-in halfback Papali'i barging across for his second try in quick succession. De La Salle's first 5 then closed the gap to 12 points with another penalty kick. Mount Albert's scrum again flexed its muscle, this time on the opposition feed to win a tight head. Latu looked to force his way over, but this time it was conventional halfback Salen Tonu'u who collected the converted try. With the scoreline mounting in Mags' favour, De La Salle went looking for some magic to stay in the game. And electric left winger Simon Peter Toriafoa showed off some elusive footwork to step his way back towards the posts and eventually got down for a brilliant try. The gap now back to just 8 points. Mount Albert's Niven Longapoa slotted a penalty before half-time to have the home side in front 24-13 at the break. The two sides traded a penalty each to start the second stanza, and with the game in the balance and 15 minutes left, Mags launched an attack from their own half. Longapoa turning the visitors around with a searching chip kick, and Patrick Pati latched onto the ball and outpaced the opposition to bring up the all-important bonus point try. The home side now ahead by a handy 16 points. Mount Albert sealed the hard-fought but ultimately convincing win as blindside flanker Thomas Barlow barged over in the corner. Mount Albert beating De La Salle 37-16, and their incredible run of bonus point wins now stretches to 8 games.
The whole 70 minutes was the grind-out game, so we knew we had to work for that whole 70, and I think we did. We knew we had to get the win today. We treat our home ground as a fortress, and we try and make it that we can't get bent on our home ground.
We're into our final block of games. We've got one, obviously another game next week before the little break. So it was vital that we came away with the win against the top 6 team, and that was a great result.
Nice work, Mags. That favourites tag sure is looking good on you. Now, if you thought that game was important to both teams' chances, how about our next one? It has implications not only for the two teams going head-to-head, but several sides around them on the points table as well. It's St Kentigern v Kings as third plays fourth.
Round 8 of the Auckland 1A Championship pitted defending champ St Kentigern College against last season's beaten semi-finalist King's College in a clash that has major implications to the makeup of the final 4. Third place St Kentigern have vaulted their way back into playoff contention with 3 straight wins, and King's College sit just 1 point behind them with 5 wins and 2 losses this season. Also on the line were bragging rights between the coaches brothers Tesessa and Tai Levere. The visitors opened the scoring just 5 minutes into the match as the ever-reliable Sharan Matoi slotted a long-range penalty. 7 minutes later, and St Kentigern stretched the opposition defence as Dakota Taimani turned the Kings' backs around, and as he often does, Etene Nanai won the race to the ball to nab the first 5-pointer of the game. Midway through the first half, Kings had good ball to attack with. Number 8 AJ Mua attracted a number of defenders before shovelling out a pass to Edward Vaiao Mulitalo. The centre had the defence in two minds, which gave him just enough space to score a great 50-metre converted try as Kings retook the lead. With half-time approaching, St Kentigern's abrasive number 8 Caleb Milne got the home side on the front foot. In first 5, Reves Reihana took the ball to the line and swerved across to lock the scores up at 10-all. There was still time for King's College to set up camp on the St Kent's line and batter away through multiple pick-and-go rucks. The hard yards eventually paying off for the Kings pack as they inched over for a try ultimately awarded by the television match official. Mātoe added the extras to have the visitors leading 17-10 at the break. The second half began with the TMO denying Kings another hard-fought try. And so St Kent's worked their way down to the other end of the field, where Reihana again proved difficult to pin down close to the try line. The conversion tying the scores up at 17 apiece. The defending champs immediately returned to the Kings 22, and Milne showed impressive strength to slam the ball down for a crucial bonus point try that gave St Kent's the lead for the first time since early in the first half. With still over 15 minutes of the game to go, King's College tried desperately to lock the scores up once again, but a blue and white wall repelled every wave of attack. St Kentigern College outlasting King's College 24-17 to pick up a vital bonus point win that keeps them in the playoff places.
Key to victory today was just being mentally tough. I think just having pride in our line and making our one-on-one tackles. Our mind wasn't really on the semi-finals. We just wanted to really put in a good performance, but yeah, it was crucial.
We didn't really struggle. We just made errors, like a lot of handling errors. Just need a bit more patience when we were down there close to their line and sort of turned the ball over.
In terms of a performance, we knew we've been building for a long time now, for the last month or so. So that was really, really good to see that performance. In terms of the league and the nature of this comp this year, a bonus point, that's massive.
Huge result there for St Kent's to solidify their position. Now, when we return here on School Report, it's our feature match from Kelston Boys High. Some of their alumni may just ring a bell. Inga Tuingamala, Case Muse and Mills Muliaina, just a few of the famous rugby names to once call these fields home. So, could we see a future All Black on show today? Kelston play Dilworth next.
I'm proudly captain of the Kelston First 15 because they have a proud tradition and history on the rugby field, and being given this opportunity to captain the First 15 is definitely a privilege. I'm hoping I can do well for the boys this year. Well, a piece of advice that my First 15 coach has given me is just self-belief and confidence. The last few seasons we haven't gone too well, but if we believe in each other and we have some confidence, we should be able to perform this season. An old boy that the boys look up to from Kelston Boys High School would have to be Mills Muliaina. He had a long career playing Super 15, and he was a great All Black and an inspiration to our team. I think also Sione Lawaki, played for the Chiefs, played for the All Blacks as well. And currently Lolangi Visania, Leon Fukafuka, they're both playing in the Super 15, so I'm sure all the boys look up to them. A great part about playing in the 1A Championship is the fact that you always know that you're going up against some top quality opposition. Every week it's not going to be any easy games. It's tough competition, and some of the top players in New Zealand are playing in this comp.
Welcome back to School Reporters. Sam Hill leads Kelston Boys High out onto the field to take on Dilworth, who sit just 3 points behind them on the table. Plenty of bragging rights on offer in this clash.
Yes, a win by Dilworth would see them leapfrog the home side, and a victory for either team would ensure they won't face a promotion-relegation fixture next season. Two evenly matched sides fought out a tight first 10 minutes, but the deadlock was ultimately broken after the big Kelston pack rumbled upfield. The ball was spun to second 5 Sapaya Fetu, and the hard-running midfielder made his mark with a top try under the posts. 15 minutes later, and the ball was worked left to Dilworth's live wire first five Molly Fiver. The pint-sized playmaker used his trademark fancy footwork to dance through the defence and score a brilliant individual 7-pointer. Dilworth continued to use their small but elusive backline, who enjoyed the perfect conditions for running rugby. Fiver put Tavita Hala into a half gap, and the fullback then jinked and jived his way through the opposition defence. Hala eventually linking with Sione Kaufunonga to have Dilworth ahead 14-7. Approaching half-time, Dilworth were camped on the Kelston line as the forwards eked out vital metres. And the home side were then taught a lesson in playing to the whistle as big back rower Isaleli Manu regathered the ball to score another converted try and have Dilworth ahead by 14 points at the break. For the majority of the second stanza, Kelston occupied the Dilworth half as the visitors had to defend for almost the entire 35 minutes. The territory in possession eventually told when a sharp switch of attack had late call-up Elijah Sufia stepping through the opposition backs to put Kelston back into the match. The home side searched for the game-tying score, but on one of the rare occasions Dilworth did escape their half, they stretched the Kelston defence, and Manu raced in for a brace. Dilworth with their second win of the season to cement their spot in 1A for 2017.
Jonah, how does it feel to get the second win on the board?
Oh yeah, it's really good. The boys I'm proud of them. You know, we worked hard for it. It was we were looking forward to trying to get this win for us to keep us in 1A for next year. So it's good that we've sealed the deal and we'll be there next year.
I just think we weren't patient enough, and credit to them. They just kept going and going. They must have had we had an unbelievable amount of ball. They got 4 opportunities and scored 4 tries. So credit to them.
If you cast your mind back a couple of years and the guys hadn't even played a 1A game, now you're knocking over these guys who are 11-time champions in this division. I mean, how far have these guys come and how proud are you?
Oh, I'm extremely proud. We talk about it being performances, not results, because even being in this division, you can play really well and still get beat by such strong teams. But I know what Kelston are and who they are and the history behind it, and just to be able to come away with a win here today, these boys are over the moon. So I'm so proud.
What a performance there from Dilworth, showing they well and truly do belong in the top tier. Time to check on second-placed Sacred Heart now. They showed their first signs of fallibility with that draw against St Peter's last week. So can they bounce back against Otahu College as they try and lock in a home semi-final?
Second place Sacred Heart's winning run came to an end with a draw against St Peter's last week. So in round 8 of the Auckland 1A Championship, the home side aimed to get back to winning ways against bottom place Otahu College. A big performance from Sacred Heart would reaffirm their title aspirations heading into the final 4 weeks of the round robin. It took the 6-time champions just 5 minutes to get on the board as Vice-Captain Joseph Casey steered the Sacred Heart pack across the line for a simple 5-pointer, care of a well-drilled line-out drive. Shortly after, Sacred Heart's much-vaunted scrum gave the backline solid first-phase ball to attack from. Centre Lemeki Namoa crashed the ball up centre field and possession was quickly recycled. Some sharp passing from the inside backs had wing Terry Pongia over in the left-hand corner for a well-taken converted try. Just 3 minutes later, and Sacred Heart's wide-ranging forwards made sure they spun the ball to the outsides as quickly as possible. And it was Pongia who again had room to move on the left wing as he tumbled across for his second try of the afternoon. The bonus point was secured inside 20 minutes when crisp line-out ball from the top was fed to Namoa. The centre stepped inside and sold a neat dummy that had Sacred Heart leading 24-0. Namoa was in the action shortly after as the big centre again split the defence and rolled in a great pass to his midfield partner AJ Kapawa. The second 5 racing and untouched as Sacred Heart piled on the points. Otahu College halted Sacred's progress when first 5 Afa Ioane slotted a good long-range penalty to get the visitors on the board. But the home side was soon back in Otahu territory where props and locks displayed some great handling before replacement back George Motuapuaka strolled across for Sacred Heart's 6th try of the afternoon. Young prop crusader Whale Tongawaia was in the action soon after. In just his second start, he got the crowd roaring with a great step and plenty of gas that almost took him all the way to the try line. Sacred Heart were able to recycle possession, and just 2 phases later, Whale Tongawaia bagged the 5-pointer he richly deserved as the home side led by 40 points at the break. For the first 20 minutes of the second half, Otahuhu held Sacred Heart scoreless, but possession and territory ultimately told as Terry Pongia snuck in for his hat-trick. Immediately from kick-off, Sacred Heart slung the ball wide, and Namoa put Motua Puaka in space on the outside. The young replacement back fed the ball back into Kapawa, who dotted down in the corner for his second try of the afternoon. The scoring was rounded out when the forwards were rewarded for their strong scrum. Anthony Tilialo Staples scooping up the ball to snare the final try. Sacred Heart picking up 5 competition points, with fellow unbeaten side Mount Albert lying in wait next week.
Boys are pretty happy with the bonus point. We got a few boys that hadn't played much first team rugby on the paddock early and had a good time out there.
Oh yeah, just really proud of the boys, especially in the second half. We played hard. We left our hearts out there on the field, and second half really proud of the boys.
Yes, we set a few tasks for today and we achieved that. So the other thing too was to come out injury free. So we managed to achieve those 2 goals, and now we just look forward to our game against Mount Albert.
Sacred Heart showing no mercy getting back to their winning ways there. When we return, we check in on semi-final hopefuls St Peter's, who travel to Onehunga, as well as Aorere's clash with Auckland Grammar. That's next on School Report.
Round 8 of the Auckland 1A Championship saw Onehunga High School host St Peter's College. Onehunga were high in confidence following their first win of the season against Otahuhu last week, but faced a St Peter's side needing a bonus point victory to leap back into the playoff places. And just 3 minutes into the encounter, St Peter's got the first of their 4 tries they needed as lock Cameron Suafoa completed a series of pick-and-go rucks to bag a 5-pointer. Onehunga defended stoically for another 15 minutes until Callum McNabb pinched a well-spotted turnover, and the blindside flanker took the opportunity to barge over for another converted try. In the shadow of half-time, the ball was flung to giant second rower Suafoa, who spun and stretched his way across the try line to have the visitors leading 21-0 at the break. Onehunga fought for their fair share of possession, and 5 minutes into the second period, first 5 Tino Adam palmed off his opposite to grab his second try in successive weeks, narrowing the margin to 14 points. The arm wrestle continued through much of the second half, but following a 40-metre burst from standout Cameron Suafoa, St Peter's controlled possession on the Onehunga line. Patience paying off for Leteru Tolai, who claimed the all-important bonus point try for the Saints. Having built up a handy buffer, St Peter's then got a chance to show their attacking flair. First 5 Josh Loveday set the move in motion as he injected pace from the back and set his backline free. Apatoni Vaka finishing the job with a bit of brute force in the opposite corner. The visitors capped off the win with the 6th try set up by stand-in first 5 Loveday and scored by Theo Stephanie. St Peter's recording their second bonus point win of the season to climb back in the top 4.
Today's win was really important for our season. We got the bonus point, which really helps get up the ladder. Early in the second half, Onehunga got a good try and then they got their tails up, and that really made it difficult for us. But I think we stuck together well and we got momentum back and then got a good win in the end.
We won some ball today. Our scrum held up a lot better. And our line-out came right. So, I mean, if you've got a bit of ball, you can play, can't you? Which is nice. I thought they did very well today.
So St Peter's stay in the semi-final mix with a good win over Onehunga there, and the top of that points table is looking very tight indeed. Now to our final match here on School Report. Aorere College head on over to Auckland Grammar, looking for their first ever win against last year's beaten finalists.
After 3 challenging games on the road, 7th placed Auckland Grammar finally returned to their home ground for a round 8 clash with 9th placed Aorere College. Both teams have found the going tough in recent weeks, so the two sides were desperate to return to their winning ways of earlier in the season. Aorere College had a first ever win over Auckland Grammar in their sights, and a first half penalty to JP Natoko was all that separated the two teams at the break. In the second half, Grammar gave the ball plenty of air, where Simeon Latu entered the line from fullback and put Ryan Tongatia in the clear. The big centre lined up Aorere's Masesi Pepper, who once again put his body on the line, showing why he's one of the best defensive fullbacks in the 1A division. But Auckland Grammar retained the ball through a series of rucks, and Sione Havili's leg drive took him across for the first try of the match. The home side continued to attack, as Havili showed off good footwork in open spaces. Also ranging wide, prop Kanan Satani Tua poked through a clever kick for winger Sean Cassidy to pounce on a bouncing ball and collect a converted try. Confidence was returning to the Grammar team as they stretched the opposition from side to side. Zach Martin straightened the attack and almost dragged Aorere's tacklers over the line. The ball was recycled and Havili was back in action again to put Cassidy across for another 5-pointer. Aorere stayed in the hunt for points with Natoko almost bursting through. The movement swept further right and some delicate hands from lock Joseph Sami sent JJ Suimai over for a consolation try. But it was Auckland Grammar who snapped a 4-game losing streak with a hard-fought 17-8 victory over Aorere College.
Oh, I think the boys are really happy. It's just they believe they could have done a better job out there, but still happy with the win.
Oh, I think again we've shown that we're just capable of beating anyone in the A grade. You know, it was only really towards the end there. Really, it's just off our mistakes that Grammar managed to get a few breakaways. But we showed again we can score against the best teams. It's just getting frustrating being that 1 or 2 tries away when we could have won those games.
It was nice to win for sure. Great sense of relief for them. They've been working really hard at training and been unable to feel that the joy you get from winning, so it's nice they're able to do that today.
Not too shabby at all there from you, Grammar. Well done. Let's check in on the points table now, which is looking mighty congested at the top after 2/3 of the season.
4 weeks to go and the 1A ladder is no clearer. Mount Albert Grammar roll on at the top of the table and Sacred Heart remain in second for now. Behind them, the race to the semis continues with St Kitts in third on 31 points. St Peter's moving up to 4th, Kings 2 points back and De La Salle hanging on to 6th spot. Further back, Dilworth jumped from 10th to 8th to overtake Kelston Boys High.
So still plenty to play for and plenty to get excited about. Number 1 on that list, the upcoming battle between the competition's only 2 undefeated teams.
Yes, next week our feature match is the clash of 1A's 2 unbeaten sides. Sacred Heart get their chance to end Mount Albert's perfect season in what's certain to be a blockbuster match. Elsewhere, St Kitts look for their 5th win in a row against Kelston. Kings need a win against Aorere to stay in the hunt, as do a desperate De La Salle who welcome Onehunga. And St Peter's and Auckland Grammar do battle in their always lively derby game.
Well, all good things must come to an end, and for today, that's our show. Seriously, how tight is that semi-final race? Luckily, we've got just the thing to ease the nerves. Our top tries from round 8 are up on Auckland First 15's Facebook page, so head along, check them out, let me know which one's your fave, and I'll see you again next week here on School Report.